Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I have been MIA for the last 2 weeks. I was supposed to upload a video for Christmas, but I was set and ready to do it, had my notes and everything, and then life hit me, just realizing that my mother is no longer here. So this is like my first holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year without, my mom being around in the world. But I know she is where she wanted to be. She was sick and suffering. So, for all it's worth, I thank God that she is where she wants to be. It's been a great new year so far. God is still manifesting all his blessings, and I received a new car. I saw my granddaughter for the first time. Things are like really starting to look up for me. Things are feeling good. I feel really energized for the new year. Although whatever happened yesterday at the Capitol, I honestly I don't focus on those things because I feel like the more you focus on the politics and things like that, it's going to somehow put you in a box. And when you're in that box, then you start to train your mind differently and all of that. I don't want to do that. I just want to keep on living to the best of my ability and, to make sure my kids are healthy and living the life that they're supposed to live as children. Although I know there's racism out there and I know what's going on out there, I choose not to make that my number one priority thing to worry about. So, again, with that being said, happy freaking New Year. Like, we have overcome some obstacles. We overcame some deaths. We've overcame hurt and pain and just downright misery. And I'm just like, I'm ready. I'm ready for these blessings. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready for my new house. I am ready for my new life. I'm ready to be spiritually wonderful. I'm ready to be financially stable. I'm just ready, and I'm accepting everything that God has to offer me and my children. I'm not with no negativity. I went out with my daughter last week, and she's into tarot reading. I know I'm saying that word wrong, y'all. I say a lot of words wrong. Just correct me, okay? And keep it moving. I went out with my daughter last week. She does tarot reading. So we went to the mall and we was getting some things and some incense and some jewels and stuff like that. I had no idea what the meaning of all of that is. Coming up in church, all I knew is it was witchcraft. That was my ignorance, right? So because she's into this, and I'm her mother, I'm her number one support system. So I started reading up on some things and educating myself and all of that. So, I'm going to rock with her with it, because that's my baby. So long story short, we were in the store and I was like, oh, sage. Like, I've always wanted to buy sage, but I never made it a priority. So I got my sage and I'm reading up on it, what it do. They have different sages for different, things. So the kind of sage I have is the floral sage. Positive energy. That's all I'm asking for. Positivity. That's it. So I bought my sage. I even allowed my daughter to do her tarot reading on me. Yo, when I tell you it was so accurate. I mean, I'm not shocked because God already revealed those things to me. But I'm saying that to say that if you don't know, don't call something what you think it is and it's not. Like, educate yourself. Before you speak on something, educate yourself. Because once I educated myself, and it's spiritual. It's all spiritual. So, she did the tarot reading on me. And one thing that it mentioned that stuck out so much, one of the cards said, you're going to have a book published. As soon as you get your mind right, you're going to have a book published. And when I was about to say, girl, I'm so used to talking to my girlfriend. When I tell you the amount of tears that fell down my face because the universe don't know about me writing a book, you know what I mean? So it's just so amazing to me. And then another thing that stuck out to me was I have to let go. In order for me to get to where God wants me to be, I have to let go of a lot of things. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, I thought I let everything go. You know, God is starting to bless me now. So that only means I'm letting things go because he's blessing me and I'm opening up so that he can bless. So I went out yesterday with my kids. I went to their father's house and we were over there. We were sitting, we were talking, laughing and drinking and everything. We were having a really good time, really good conversation. And he was talking to the kids, and the more he talked, the more I sit. Girl, child, y'all rather. When you in his presence, you gotta drink, cause that man is, yeah. Anyway, so I'm drinking and I'm listening and I'm laughing and I'm drinking and I'm listening and I'm laughing, and then it was time for us to go home. And it wasn't until I got home and I was thinking about the reading that my daughter gave me. And I had an aha moment. That aha moment was I did not let everything go. I'm still holding on to my ex-husband. So in order for me to be prosperous, in order for me to be in a spiritual realm that I have to be in order for me to receive things financially, in order for me to grow as a woman, I have to let go of those old things because he let me go. He let me go so long ago. But because he was the only man figure that I knew or that I know, and I still know till today that he has my back, I'm still holding on. I'm still Mrs. Banks. I don't know if I want to be that. I don't know if I want to be his friend. I don't know if I just want to kick him to the curb. I'm straddling the fence. And when you straddle the fence, that's when confusion starts. And God ain't in no mess. So sis, you gotta choose a struggle. So I have to let that go. And I'm willing to do that. Am I strong enough to do that? Absolutely. Right now I am, but in the beginning I wasn't. So I'm just saying all of this to say, as you can see, I don't have anything written down in my book. I'm just freestyling today because I've been missing for 2 weeks. And I just really want to come to y'all on a personal level. So I'm saying all that to say it's 2021. We letting these dead situations, we deading them all. We stomping on them. We moving on. We going out here and we going to get whatever God has for us. That's exactly what we're going to do. I'm aiming for the top of that mountain. I need to see the light. I need to see the tunnel. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of heartbreak. I'm tired of all of that. And you know, when you pray and you ask God for all of those things, and you ask God for peace, and you ask God for strength, that's when hell breaks through. That's when everything, all the turmoil, everything just start happening. So like I said, like I mentioned in a few uploaded videos before, I mentioned be careful what you ask God for, because he's going to give it to you. You know, whether he thinks you're ready or not, if you keep being consistent on your prayer, he's going to give you exactly what you want. You may not be ready, but because you're so consistent in asking for it, he's going to give it to you. So now when things fail, don't go back and say, oh God, but you said it. No, God ain't say nothing. You keep asking, and I'm tired of hearing you asking. So here you go. I'm going to give it to you. So my prayer has been peace and strength. That's all I've been praying for. I got my sage blowing, I got my windows open, my doors open, and I'm praying and I'm going and I'm praying and I'm going. I'm believing and I'm trusting, and I know, right? Boom! A big boom hit me. Now I can't see my grandson no more. I don't know what happened, how it happened, what went on, but whatever happened, I can't see my grandson no more. You know, so I started to cry and I started to break down, and then I had to shake myself like, Thina, get it together. It's all right. You prayed and you asked God for peace and strength. Just keep on doing what you do, because we all know that you're a good grandmother and your grandson adores you. He does. He loves his mama. So right about now, I put it in God's hands. Whereas though I would break down and just be a mess, I can't afford to do that anymore, because at this point in my life, I feel like I deserve better. I don't deserve to keep being heartbroken. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to chase you for your child, but what I will do is I will pray and I will ask God, if it's for my grandbaby to be in my life, which it is, I need you to fix that situation. And once you pray and ask God to fix that situation and give you peace in your mind, peace in your home, you good. Like, I'm good. I feel good. I'm going to be all right. Like, I'm telling y'all, I'm going through 2021 like I ain't never go before. I'm running. I ain't even jogging, because when you jog, you missing it. I'm running. I'm catching everything that's meant to be caught for me and my kids. And I believe God. When I tell you that the blessings that are about to happen for God's people, y'all better get on board and y'all best to believe, because it's happening and it's happening now. Everything that we see, just because you see all of this going on, that doesn't mean God is taking back what he said, what he was going to do for you and yours. So I'm coming on here today just to say that, just to freestyle and just to encourage. Be strengthened. Have peace. Peace is not, oh, you won't hear no arguing. Oh, you won't hear people talking. That's not peace. Peace for me, peace really is a mental thing. It's a mental state. Once you get in that mental state where you have peace, there is nothing and no devil in hell that can destroy that peace. Let me tell y'all something. My peace is trying to disrupt what I have going on. So what was it? Yesterday? What's today? Thursday. Tuesday. Working, doing my job. Supervisor calls. No, supervisor messaged me. He's like, can you go in feedback, because I got some feedback for you. Yo, I went in feedback to my supervisor and the manager. I said, well, time to go. Shit, I started packing my stuff up, because come on, we know what that means. Like, your time is up here. So let me start gathering my belongings and whatever the case may be. Talk to my supervisor. My supervisor said, we doing a lot of layoffs because we haven't been receiving a lot of calls due to the pandemic. And I've been listening to some of your calls, and you're too short on the phone with your customers. You don't spend a lot of time. And anybody who knows me knows I question everything if I don't understand it. So I'm like, well, what do you mean I'm not spending enough time on the phone? Well, if a customer wants to make a payment, then you have to give them all the payment options. But I'm like, okay, so if they call and they say, oh, hi, how you doing? I just want to make a payment. Okay, I'm transferring you over to the payment line. If that's something that you don't want, and the customer say, oh, no, I don't want the payment line, do you have any other options? Why can't I just do that versus me saying, oh, you want to make a payment? Well, we have several different ways you can make a payment. You can do this, you can do this. They done hung up on me by the third option. They don't want to hear all of that. So whatever the case may be, I just look at it as, that job wasn't for me. I wasn't climbing the ladder. Whatever happened, God moved me so he can give me better, or God moved me so he can give somebody that position that really, really wanted it. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. But I'm saying that because I lost my job during the pandemic. I immediately signed up for unemployment. I immediately started filling out applications. I'm immediately believing that God is immediately going to sustain me. I'm immediately believing that my family don't want for nothing. I'm immediately believing that God is going to give me exactly what my heart desires. And my heart desires is honestly to not work. I want to be so financially stable that I don't have to work. But we in the real world. So because I do have to work, he's going to give me something where he knows I fit. He's going to give me something where the money is good, and I'm a be okay. Me and my family going to be okay. Am I sad? Was I sad? Yeah, I was for a little bit, but I can't afford to be sad and stay in that position. So I had to shake myself. Girl, if you don't get up and shake yourself and keep it moving, I just got the new car. Remember I told y'all on my last upload, I believe I told y'all, I got my car. Lord, you gave me the car. How am I supposed to afford it? Girl, if you don't stop tripping, don't you worry about that. My faith is so high in God that I believe everything is going to be taken care of. So 2021, although I lost my job and my grandson I don't know what's going on with that situation, but I'm putting all of that, and I'm putting it over here, and I'm putting it in God's hands. Because can't nobody do nothing without God's permission. And I believe God so heavy that I know he will never let me fail. He will not allow me to have another heartbreak. It's just test after test after test for me. And it's only because I have been praying for peace and I have been praying for strength. And I don't care what try to come and knock me down. I'm going to continue to pray for prayer. I'm going to continue to pray for strength, and I'm going to continue to pray for peace, because that's all God wants. All God wants is for us to trust him. All he wants is for us to be down to our lowest point and to realize that God is never unable to do what he said he's going to do. That's it. That's all. That's all we can do. Like, we try to go out here and do things our way. It never works out. It never works out. So I put everything that I have, everything that I own, everything that I touch, everything that I see, I put it in God's hands. I give it to God, because I can't move right if I ain't got God next to me. So I'm just coming on here today, tell y'all that I missed y'all. I'm sorry I've been MIA for those 2 weeks. These holidays really hit me without my mom being here, but I thank God for his strength, his grace, and his mercy. And I'm going to continue to push forward. I even thought about, I can't do this YouTube stuff. I ain't saying nothing different than nobody else. I can't. I look at other people YouTube and I look at Instagram lives and I'm like, dang, they got an audience, or, they really popping and this, that, and the third. I'm not them. They not me. I'm not doing nothing for nobody's money. I love talking. I love encouraging. I just love that feeling of having people just sit and listen and ask me questions and teach me how I'm teaching you. Let me give you some of the faith that I have. So if I can keep talking to you and telling you how good God is to me and my family, then maybe you can start to believe that, hey, wait a minute, such and such happened to me. Maybe that was God. You know what I'm saying? So my voice is just to encourage, just to tell you some things that I've been through, some things that I've overcome, things that I've even failed at. I did a lot of stuff that I failed at, but I was depressed about it, but ain't nobody gonna encourage me but me. I pick myself up. I put my lashes on. I make sure I look good. And I start from scratch. That's the only way you're going to know what success is if you fall down to the bottom. So I came on YouTube today to tell you guys that Queen Banks loves you all. I need for everybody to stay encouraged. I need for everybody to know and to believe that God is here. God is real. And as long as you keep that peace and that strength, y'all good. All right, so happy new year. Next week I'm coming on. I'm gonna have my topic together. We're gonna sit, we're gonna talk, we're gonna sip a little bit. We're gonna enjoy some good conversation on next week. All right, and hopefully next week I have some good news for all of you. All right, so y'all all just be encouraged, and again, enjoy your families, love on your families, love on your loved ones, spend some time, tell somebody you love them, give somebody a hug, anything you got to do to keep your mental state right. All right, so y'all be blessed, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.